And tonight our career speaker is here, Watcharee. She's going to talk pretty soon here. And we have two teacher presenter groups, Mike and Sue, and also Deb and Linda. So we're going to get started so we can wrap this up tonight too. And so I have a few announcements, and then also we have our career speakers, teacher presenters, and then wrap up. But I'm going to show you a picture here of Peter. If you probably also saw an email, but he was the American Meteorological Society K through 12 educator. He got the award for that, so we're pretty excited for Peter. And we got to see him last week. And we have this picture here to show you guys of when we hung out with Peter this past week. And it was really fun. I think he's coming here a little bit later tonight too. I don't see him on here right now. So tell me, saw his picture. So some announcements. First off, the Earth Day 2013 video competition is happening with Globe. And there's some pressure on you guys because the last year's winner for North America was from L2R. You can see their screenshot on the far right. They had a great video about and actually sang. So again, video competition, I put more information, or I put the link to the webpage for more information in the L2R links at the top. So be sure to check that out. It just asks for a 2-minute video showing how doing Globe has improved your environment. So it should be a pretty fun one. Hopefully you guys will have a chance to submit. And again, there is a little pressure on you. Then we have two IOPs in January. We have climate and land cover and also phenology. And then in February, we have phenology as well. And I remember last year in February, I was in DC and the trees are starting to bud already. So make sure if you're planning on doing green up, that you start checking here pretty soon. Then finally, if you ask for equipment, it has been ordered. I don't know how long it'll take to get to here. We're going to have it sent here and then shipped out from here. So hopefully in the next few weeks, you'll be getting your equipment. So any questions on those things? If you're typing, I turn it over to Watcharee too. Some photometers, Kim, I have not heard back from our tech person. I emailed him again at the beginning of the year, and he hasn't replied. So I plan on bugging him about again tomorrow. I am so sorry about that one. It's been really frustrating for me as well. And I know they had some from Mexico that were brought in that we're trying to figure out if they're going to work. And yeah, hopefully we'll know very soon. Okay, so let me get Watcharee up here.
Hello.
Okay, Watcharee, you're good to go.
All right, that's good. Okay.
I can hear you.
Sorry?
Do you want to do your webcam also?
My webcam.
Your webcam?
Okay. Okay, hello everyone.
So you start sharing on it.
So my name is Watcharee Ruairuen. So I am an instructor of biology at Suratthani Rajapat University in Thailand. Of course, in the right hand side of you, you can see some weird language. So is that an alphabet of my language? So I work at Suratthani Rajapat University. You might wonder where it is. So I have a map that show you about where is Thailand. So in the red circle is my country. We located at the Southeast Asia. And yes, in the west side, we connect to the Andaman Sea. And in the east side, we connect to the Gulf of Thailand, which is in the South China Sea. All right. And here in the red dot is my workplace. I work as a instructor for a years, but now I'm not in Thailand. All right. Did you guys see my camera? Anyone see my picture now? Hello? Yeah, okay. I'm so sorry. I thought I already shared your my video camera. So, okay, let's move on to my background and education. So I start enjoy and learning about the science when I was in high school. Because I received very high score in the biology, so then I have an idea. Okay, I will go with the environment or biology when I went to the undergrad study. And yeah, you know why? In the first year of my university, I have to learn every science, basic science. I mean, like chemistry, biology, physics. That's make me a little bit curious about that subject because mostly I like biology and environment rather than the mathematics. But by the way, I can in up and then I can pass those kind of subjects. And the second year, my I need to select the main area of my study. And finally, I end up with the marines and coastal resources management technology with a news area in my country now. I mean, at that time, I don't know yet about what career future would be. And my parents, often ask me about what will you be in the future. And I told them, no, mom, I don't know yet. So most of important factor in my decision to choose this area because I attend the Marine camp during the summer in 1999. If I'm not sure for the year, but around that period. So after during I joined this camp, I learned a lot with the marine ecologies. I did some experiments. I worked with the researcher about the concentration of nitrate in the mangrove forest. That's opened my eye, and I think at that time I touched with a real science research. So that inspired me to go through with the marine and coastal resources technology. And yes, like I really happy to learn this subject and this area. When I was in the undergrad, like in my area, they provide me to study about so they set the study for us to have like experiment, the field trips. So many times for me and my friend have a chance to go to the ocean. We did some scuba diving. We observed the coral reef and identify what kind of coral that we see and how it's different. And then we also use the remote sensing data to analyze how change of the land use around my local. Thing like that is really cool, and like it's make me not only me. I mean, it can tell the student to really interesting about how can you use like the technologies to monitor to investigate the natural resources. All right, and along the way of my undergrad, I also activate the club called Marine Guard Club with my friend. So, excuse me. Hello, I'm sorry, I'm still working on my presentation. Hey, Darlene, can you hear me? Hello? Yes. All right, I'm sorry. So because I give a presentation from my workplace, so it might be have something going on. All right. Okay, I talk a little bit about my club. Yeah, we in exhibit the Marine Guard Club, and then we have a lot of like student camps that teaching the student in school to relight or protect the marine resources, things like that. And yet, I think I forgot to change the slide. And then I did some the research about the monitoring land use change by using the remote sensing and GIS. And I do have more research assistant that I work with my advisor at that time about the local fishing gears and also the initial environment assessment for the Samui Island before the development the oil and gas company. Okay, so and after I graduated from my undergrad degrees, I continued the master degree in the same university, but different area because I realized I need more knowledge about the computer technology. So that's why I decided to go through the computational science. So mainly my work when I was in master degree, I work with the satellite data. I use the geostationary satellite to monitoring and predicting the flooding, big flooding area in my country. So, and then I think I got more experience about the computer technology, and I am now comfortable using it as a tool to do many things. And throughout my master degree, I gained tons of experience and about the real science as well as the real work. By the way, the natural resources and environment still close with my study because my supervisor he has a lot of projects that work with the environment, with work with the I mean something about the ecological brackish water, the water quality, and he also have joined with the group program. So yes, I am the one that work as a research assistant with those kind of projects. I really happy to work with the group project because I think group is the favorite project at that time for me to work with because I have a chance to get many kind of workshop. I learn the group protocol as well as I collecting data and sending back to the group database. I work with the teacher and student. So yeah, and so many things that we got from the group projects. And then I also work as a teacher assistant. I think in my master degree, I gained a lot of experience. It's kind of the essential thing that bring me to the other level of my career. All right, so I still have so many things, but I just want to skip and here is the working. This is the real work that after I graduated from my master degree. I work as com like I work at the consultant company as an environmentalist. Uh, my main duty is investigate and observe a new area or place that can generate new. So I forgot a little bit, but they they work with the all right, okay, they work with the hydropower plant for the electricity produced. So, but like I don't like that kind of work a lot, so I quit after I worked for 6 months, and then I got a job from the Institute for the Promotion of Teaching and Science, and technology with the group program in Thailand because I was familiar with them when I was in the master degree. My main duty is a contact with the network of the group school and university around Thailand, training teacher and students, promoting the science projects, developing and implementing the group protocol, and organize the student conference and in the national level as well as the international level. Okay, and so by the way, like work so many, I mean, in the group program in Thailand, I wasn't happy in working with logistic thing. So I didn't like to, and also I don't like to live in the capital city like Bangkok. So then I apply another job because I often have my dreams. I want to be the teacher or maybe instructor in the university. And finally, I got a good news after I applied for an instructor in Surat Thani Ratchapat University. And yes, that is my dreams came true. So I quit from the group program in Thailand, and then I start working with a new job in the following month. So now I am an instructor. In the first year, I have taught for 4 subjects like biology, terrestrial ecology, science and technology, environmental, and life quality. So I use many experience or training of my, I, I use many experience from my uh, previous, from my, like when I was in undergrad, when I was master degree, and when I attend the workshop, when I attend the training or many things, I also use implemented of many group protocol for my class. I think I do like teaching and discuss with my student. Many times I encourage my student to do the real research or something that around that their local environment. So it's work well, I think, and they learn the way that they can hands on, that they can see what's going on in this environment and how it's changing in terms of temporal and spatial, things like that. So yeah, it's my but now after I work in my university and now I got the scholarship to come to the state for my PhD study. And here is the picture that represents some of my ongoing research. So right now I work about the evapotranspiration, that I need to deal with the energy balance, mass balance, which is very complicated to me and maybe to somebody else. So all right, I forgot. And like it's really interesting topic, and I think this subject will help me to do my research. After I need to take a lot of class when I was in the US, such as like soils and introduction to atmospheric study and some of micrometeorology. So those kind of subject will help me to do the research and as well as to bring some back when I come back to Thailand. So here just show you the something that I work with. So on my own idea, I think what you need to get you on your own way in terms of to become an instructor or psychology professor, you need a master degree. And decide if you want to focus on specific subject areas such as the chemistry, biology, physics, or other general science because there are different requirements. So of course you have to love to teach, discuss, and communicate with other people. So keep up to date for development in your field by reading current literature, talking with your colleagues, or participating in professionals conference. Those kind of things that can give you and improve your ability and so many things, right? And of course, this is very important too. Is a computer technology. So include its internet, the email, CD-ROM is a little bit older, and then the software program. So this is kind of the classroom tools that you need to use when you work with the student, because the use of email, chat room, and other technique is greatly enhance communication between the student and teacher and among the student. So and the last thing is you need to continue your research and improve your subject to your own. All right, I think this is all thing that I want to share with you guys. And thank you. I think I include the last slide. It is the key important of my speaking, and I hope it would be helpful for you folks.
Okay, do we have any questions?
Thank you so much for your attention.
Well, thank you very much for giving this to us tonight, Watcharee. It was very nice. Oh, here's Carol's question for you as well.
All right, okay. All right, for the data collection process. So you mean the data collection that I work when I was in the master degree, or the currently ongoing research? Oh yeah, yeah. I mean all right. The is that this data, right? Okay. So at this figure, for the left side, that is my figure that I did some plot of the lysimeter that I put this. I need to dig the soil out from the hole, and then I put the soil back, and then I plant the lettuce, and then I observe the water used by plant. And for the and this figure is the SD Korean tower that we install the radiometer, the one that can measure the solar radiation. We have the two different temperature 1, temperature 2. We measure the pressure, and here is my lattice. Yeah, and we also have a little bit, as you can see, the blue one is the automatic data logger to monitoring the soil's moisture content. And here is the graph that represents the solar radiation. The red one, the green one is temperature at 3-meter height. The blue one is temperature in the 1-meter height. And here is the surface temperature. All right, anything else? Uh, Oh, somebody gonna go to Thailand. He just see an elephant. No, I just kidding. I might suggest you guys to go to the southern part if you like to drive scuba diving or to see the coral reefs, things like that. But the northern, we have our beautiful forest. Yeah, beautiful natural place. And my student water testing. Okay, video. All right. Keep okay. Here is my email. If you guys wanna ask me more information, then you can send me an email. Mm, okay.
So we have one more question about looking at the fruit plant. from Joan.
Oh, the fruit. Okay, what led you to select the fruit plant? So, like the way that I shoot the plant depend on the sensitivity of water. So I think the fruit plant is kind of difficult to monitoring or to observe some behavior. There are so many factors that affect with the plant. But as I show on my slide about the mangosteen production, that's when we collect the data from the gardener who's has like previous data that they collect, like how much production per year, and we use that data compare with the climatic data in the past. So and some of that projects report that okay, after the temperature get higher in like the annually higher, so it tend to have less productions of mangosteens, thing like that. But like I just helped them to analyze the data, but I didn't go through the field at that time because the the fruit have the main area of fruit is the southern part, and another part is located in the middle, like nearby Bangkok. Not in Bangkok, but like the east coast in the middle of my country. So and then they compare between how different between two different environments of the mangosteen. Do I respond your question directly?
Okay, well, again, thank you. And we're going to put on Mike and Sue now. So if you have any questions for Watcharee, her email address is in there. And we really appreciate this. So thanks again.
All right. Bye-bye.
There we go. We're here. Okay? Oh,
Put the microphone on, right?
I already got the mic on. We're
Okay.
good. We're good. Let's see, here's our little.
You need to go down there.
Yeah, we got it. We're ready. Ready, everyone. Okay. Hello from the Piedmont, as we say. Mike Pilarski,
And I'm
Sue
Sue.
Zingher.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, come on now. You stupid thing. What our students are studying, the research question that we came up with is that we wanted to know the relationship between air quality, our population growth, the respiratory health within our county here, especially in this area, being the location there on the eastern side of the Appalachian Mountains. We also know that we have a severe problem with a lot of our kids in school with the same thing. We've had many incidences of that, as well as a lot of the construction that's going on. Our current research, what we're doing, or at least I should say what our students are actually doing, we've actually constructed the weather stations. Our students are collecting data daily, as well as doing some research, looking up historical population, data on asthma, as well as, and they're actually using different county resources.
These are my students getting ready for our GIS day. You can see we've got our, just our little weather station, doing these protocols and asking these relevant questions every day and collecting data.
And these are my students over here. What you see in the left-hand picture there is part of their actual ozone garden that's been ongoing now for a couple years. They're doing some maintenance on there. They're also, this is where they were actually installing parts of the weather station, in this particular case here for ozone.
Well, one of the cool things that we got involved with this fall is ArcGIS, and a local university geologist worked with the kids to apply this mapping software and to analyze our data to help us decide whether or not we have any correlations with our question. And here's my kids doing it, and these three particularly really liked doing this data and applying it to this software. Is everybody familiar with what ArcGIS is? If you are, I'm hearing some yeses. I'm seeing some yes. No. Well, what it really is, let's click on Mike and I'll show you. What it is that you take your data. Well, here's our kids presenting, and I'll talk about that in a second. But what it is that you have, here's a map of one of the typical things it is. You have an area, okay, and then you can collect data, put it in a spreadsheet, and the software will place it and layer it up. So here we layered population data, and where our state, you see where the green you see where the green stars are. Those are places in our county that also take ozone data by the county. I don't know which county organization does it, and it's also related to, we put in our interstate highways to see if there is any correlation, if these things overlap. This software will do that. So go back and I'll show you. So on November 14th was our local expo downtown Charlotte, and our kids got together. This is the way our kids could collaborate between the two schools, as we got together and presented what we've done so far using ArcGIS in our globe research, and it was a thrill for the kids. And there was a total of like 15 children, and in our group, but we were one of 4 student presentations that day. So we were right between a meteorologist and a high school team. So here's kind of what it looks like. This is really the cool one. Now we know that we don't have enough data yet because we know ozone may not actually be the issue anymore. But here we have the 3 sites that the county does it. And then also in green there, in the different shades of blue-green, is where the incidences of asthma. And we got that from the public health department, which is also something that's on public information that my kids could access. And here they are. And it went so smooth. The meteorologists that were also presented thought this was pretty cool. Do you have the actual? Okay, yeah, our local little globe facilitator, Alyssa Whitcliffe, kind of made a connection with UNCC Geology Department to get us the software, and we got it put in on our school computers, and there actually were CDs, and they had to be installed in each computer, and and that's, and I'm not really sure how Alyssa got that, or is it UNCC that provided that?
What it is, for the last 2 years, not this current year, but 2 years prior to that, I actually had the software and been using it with my kids also. It is ESRI.
Oh, that'd be great. That's great.
That's what it is, and it was actually given by UNCC here for us. Yes, there is a charge for using this particular software. I want to say, well, I don't want to give a dollar amount on that.
But we got to use it for free. I mean, because of our connection with Globe, they're happy, and plus, a UNCC STEM person, their people paid for the geologists to come in and work with the kids. Oh, really? That's cool. That's great, because it's a wonderful program. It really sets up the higher order thinking. I mean, it's the data collection and mapping in a very sophisticated 21st century skill way. So it was great.
Now, I do know there are several different versions of ArcGIS. I know the one that we are using is a lot more comprehensive than a lot of times the free issues. They're the free ones that are out there.
That would be great. That would be great, because I think that once they're on, I don't know if they expire, or I don't know if we'll be able to use the same software or what for next year. Well, we can go on here real quick here.
Yeah. Our issues. Now, we have some current issues that we're trying to work through. One of them is with our ozone strips at both of our schools. A lot of times what's happening, because we're looking at a lot of particulate matter in there, as well as aerosols, ozones with this, it really is kind of difficult. And it's also difficult getting some real accuracy with it.
Yeah, and here, because we had construction, I mean, probably within, not even 100 feet of my ozone strips, we had construction, so it just turned black, I mean, every day. And then pretty soon, what happened? The ozone season ended.
Right, right. The other problem that we're having issues with is when we're collecting our data around solar noon, and it has to deal with scheduling what kids, when we can do that, because a lot of our kids that are in our globe clubs, I know both of us have our own clubs and everything, they're not necessarily with us around solar noon, and to get them out of class, especially core classes and stuff, poses a problem. Again, ozone season, it's from, it ends in November, begins again in April. It's a short time frame. That's why, because with that, that's why we're really kind of limited, trying to cram the stuff in, and that's why we're trying to get what we can. We're looking at adjusting our research a little bit, going more towards the particulates than the ozone itself, because of what we're finding and what we're hearing and such like that.
I have to tell you, when I came to school this fall, I had such horrible asthma. And this is what kind of helped me guide into this. And it was because of all the particulate matter, aerosols, because of the construction by our school and by my home. Because Mecklenburg County here is just exploding with progress and cutting down trees and digging up the dirt to put in new roads. So that, you know, so now we're realizing it wasn't the ozone that was making me so sick. It was probably all that, the dust and the dirt and the grime.
And the final thing is, and again, this is more on our end over here, is maintenance of our ozone gardens, our summer gardens throughout the entire school year. That's what we're just trying to work on. Part of it can be done or handled on how we maintain it, or how we actually install it, the amount of mulch and so forth like that in there to reduce some of the needs for watering, but still there has to be some maintenance being done on that, and we're just trying to get volunteers to come in and do that.
So this spring I am working with my school. In fact, we've made it part of our school improvement plan to put in a garden here. So our little ozone garden idea has now bloomed into an outdoor classroom, and all centered around these two posts that are out there outside my back door, and they have our weather station. So we're going to get that installed this spring. And we're an IB school, International Baccalaureate School, and community service is a big component. So we're now going to make this garden maintenance in the summer. We're going to meet that challenge, we think, by making it on-site community service. But we think that's a good way. Now, this incorporating this cloud cover particulate, we decided that we want to figure out if that has anything to do with what's going on in the atmosphere. So there's a program with CloudSat that we decided we want to incorporate that, where they give you this great, I think it's like $45 a piece though, but we happen to be given one where it's a mirror that you lay down. It's a convex mirror.
Yes,
convex mirror, and you allow you to see the entire sky, and you can kind of estimate your cover, and so we're going to do that. In other words, one more thing, the kids do some data, see if that makes any difference, and then of course adding particulate aerosol data, expanding these weather stations. I think he's waiting as well. We're waiting for more equipment. The kids really love this so much, so we're going to add an anemometer, and I like to even do a windsock, whatever we can do to get more kids involved, and of course it makes it look more snazzy for the school. And
in addition, I just want to add this with the expansion and everything. My particular school is a K-8 school. It's a STEM school, and we actually have, for the elementary component on that, with the elementary component, we actually have an elective for all the students to go through there, and they do this. And with that in mind, we're looking at having these students actually look at this stuff professionally and trying to come up with some sort of relationships in there with their discoveries.
So it looks like you guys are interested in a convex. That I mean, honestly, it just was kind of brought to our attention that, hey, why not do it? And they, again, our UNCC, connection basically said, here, try this convex mirror. And it's a durable plastic that's got, a shiny cover. I believe Watcharee said that she's done some of this, so maybe we can get more about, as we find out more about it, we can get more people involved. We figure the more data they can collect, the more authentic research they do, and the more they are engaged, the more they buy into it, and the more they want to study the weather and atmosphere.
And the other thing with with CloudSat and everything, we would actually be doing at both of our schools on a given day and such like that, doing the ground truthing for NASA, because this data would be sent to NASA.
That's right. I knew there was something
because of the satellite that's up there can no longer function at 100%.
So of course, the last couple of things is time, and teachers, how hard it is to find time. My kids are not my kids during the time I have to collect that data. So I have to go and always make deals like, I'll watch your kids if you watch mine. But now I have a core group of 6 of my 15 who go unsupervised. They automatically go, they unlock the weather thing, they take their data and bring it back to my classroom. It has taught them so much responsibility. The other thing is funding. I am still waiting for our district to give me a little bit more money to expand all this. So we're starting to look into more grant writing and timeliness in getting the garden done. And we've decided that it's kind of tough being at 2 schools to collaborate, but we know we need to do that. We know we need to either to Skype with each other more, we need to do this more, get the kids talking to each other about their data.
Questions?
We're looking at your questions. Indoor versus, oh, I like this idea.
Which one?
Looking at indoor versus outdoor particulates, hanging packing tape on the room.
We've done that.
Yeah.
We've done that at our schools
Yeah.
a lot. In fact, we've actually hung them a little bit at particular areas outside. It's real interesting with the carpool lane and everything. See how much junk particulates that are out there that you're breathing every day.
Yeah. And it's something that's cheap. You can do it. And I have, since I have asthma, but it's so hot in my room in the fall, I have to keep my windows open. So it's kind of like, is it really outdoor particulates or is it other stuff blowing in? Yeah. We think, to be honest, I really think my asthma and the whole reason why I wanted to study this is due to the aerosols, all that stuff that's in the air that's irritating. But we do know that ozone plays a part because it's like burning your lungs. So that's really all we have. So there's a great, they've just set up the ArcGIS thing.
Yeah,
so if you don't have any more questions, we're here, we're listening to the next one. Let us know. We would love to know what you guys are doing at your latitude. One of the things in my garden we're going to be putting in is other plants at the same latitude around the country and around the world. So if there's anything you'd like me to put into this garden here or at Mike's, because we're only 5 miles away, we'd love to add it so you can get data from us at our latitude. And thank you. Have a good night.
Same.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Wow, that makes me feel good.
Yeah, really.
Okay, Deb and Linda, you guys are up. And get your presentation up too. Okay, so we can hear you and your webcam also.
Okay, we're trying to do this from the classroom, so bear with us. Basically, we're a little bit slow getting started. Of course, we're in Central Middle School in Gatesville, North Carolina, which is in the northeastern corner of North Carolina at the Virginia border and right on the coast. When we got back to school this year and we were really excited to get started with this program, we were off and running, we thought. But we had a changeover in our administration in the time since we left you. So we came back, started with the new standards, the Common Core. We were really excited about the next generation science standards that we learned about. And we had to deal with a new administrative team, their vision and everything going on. So we got off to a really slow start. I would say that we were walking, but essentially we were crawling at that point, and now we're up to our walk. The good news with that is that we had a vision from our GLOBE program and all that we learned there. And from that vision, we talked with our administrators who decided that what we learned at Globe was actually the direction we want to take our entire program. So instead of it just being 3 teachers coming back and doing a project, it's now gone school-wide. So it became bigger than we thought, and we got really excited about that. Since then, we've now established a STEM team. So we've brought on our math team, and we've brought in the other science teachers in grades 6 through 8. We've established pacing guides so that we're all working together and building on one another. And with those accountability models, we've now put into place benchmark testing at the end of each quarter so that as we teach it, we make sure that we're testing what is taught and that we work together to make sure that all of our students are successful and having the same opportunities. So with that, there are so many athletic teams in our community. We wanted to put the focus on science, but we also wanted to put it on who led the development of your STEM program. The Globe team, when we got back, and our new administrators decided that we needed to make it bigger and that we needed to work together. And my previous district, before I came here, that's what I did. I led their STEM team. So I kind of jumped in on that. Science Olympiad and Envirothon are new for us, and so we're really excited. Our Solar Water Conservation District has jumped on board to help us out, and they're thrilled that we had the protocols through Globe. So to have that support from 2 different angles has been an asset. And then the Olympiad covers so much, and so we've been getting our feet wet with small groups of students since they work in partners with the different protocols and using those in our classroom. So we're going to use those students who learn it as part of these 2 teams to help us spread it to our other students in other classes. Basically, each one reach one as a concept. And now, second semester, this is where we are. When we met with Globe over the summer with everybody, we got our ideas together and we started putting things in place, making contacts, getting things running, and then we were put at a halt for our fall semester. But with everything in place now, we have new STEM team leadership. We'll have a new department head for science taking over next week. Miss Lenau seems to think it's likely to be me, but our principal hasn't officially announced it just yet. Okay, chances are it most likely is me, which makes me very excited. We now have hands-on lesson requirements where teachers are required to do no less than 1 authentic hands-on lesson every 4 weeks. And their goal is for that. Okay, if you really have to have video. Sorry. We're just camera shy. With those 2 hands-on requirements, we're doing them once every 4 weeks so that the math teachers and the science teachers will have the opportunity to get their feet wet with doing math and doing science as far as an authentic product. So we've set up a STEM showcase on March 14th. So the kids who have learned and are learning, that building on protocols, they'll be showcasing their Globe protocols March 14th. And of course, we'll send videos of that. And showing the community what we're doing and how we're tracking the weather and how we're looking at the water quality in our community. So our Globe program is beginning. We have the installation of our weather station, and we're establishing our protocol sites here on campus, and we're using our students to do both. Our focus first on our protocols other than weather will be our water quality, and we're teaming up with Merchants Mill Pond. We've contacted the park rangers there, and probably 10 years ago they said someone had come through and done a study on the pH and the salinity of the water, and they had been making connections there, but then the program dropped off. So the park rangers were really, really excited to, to join in with us and help us pick up where they left off, because they understand that this isn't going to be a fly-by-night thing. We are planning ahead of time with them, and that we continue to have this citizen scientist program come into the forefront of our entire systemic change. which brings us to the second semester and beyond. Our goal as a school is to incorporate more of the GLOBE protocols and to put actually doing science at the forefront of our science classes. We want to expand the protocols across 6th, 7th, and 8th. Currently, we have one 8th grade project, and we have a 7th grade math mostly project with a little bit of science. That's the one where Wendy, who's unable to be with us tonight, is doing the ground cover, the land cover of our school. That's the biggest thing that we're looking at. But when we planned our project in July with everybody, we had no idea that our project, would you say, Linda, was going to go this big, to where it was going to encompass the entire school and all the students getting active and everybody taking a part and making a difference in our community. So I think that's been the best thing to come out of our GLOBE partnership. But we'd like to be able to report back long about April after our STEM night, where we've gotten all of our data put together and we're much more to a jog than the walk that we're reaching now, and present. Wow, how many? That would be great. We do have Skype, so we can Skype and FaceTime from school. And yes, when we first started, as far as the number of students that we were going to reach, we figured we could use about 40 students between 2 class bells across lunchtime and take them to the mill pond, do the work, and come back. And instead, we've expanded all of the protocols to where 6th grade, we have a brand new teacher coming on board February 1st, and he is already researching on the internet how he can incorporate it into his classroom. And it's just gone so far above and beyond where we planned in July that we're afraid to jump in too fast, because we want everybody who's interested to come on board and really make that change for all of the kids, so that all the kids feel that it's an equitable opportunity. And it's about 400 students. We are very blessed to have the whole school support, and we're really thankful that our new administrator is such a visionary in the Department of Science and Math. Basically, she has taken on a great trust of her staff and said, okay, you're the experts, tell me what you need. This is what I see we need to be doing. And she empowers us to make it happen. And that's why we feel that GLOBE is going to be such a good fit for us. We're in a public middle school, grades 6 through 8, extremely rural area. We laugh and say that the way we measure how far we are from real civilization is the fact that you cannot find a Walmart within 35 miles.
One stoplight.
We have one stoplight. And most of the time it works.
And the only fast food is like service centers.
Yeah, and we don't even have a fast food place. We have one little grill in town, and that's it. And it takes 15 minutes for even a hot dog. So getting those kinds of students who don't have that opportunity to see science on a regular basis in action in their community, involved in science, is really our biggest goal. And our administration at the middle and the high schools' vision for the science department is that when our students go to graduate, that they will be marketable in the STEM career fields, and getting them out there, because agriculture is a big STEM situation, and we just need to show the kids that that's where we're coming from. And they're getting into it. I mean, we've got better engagement in our science classes than I've seen in years. So I think it's off and running, barely, but there. Okay, questions. No stoplights, wow. They do. They love the hands-on work, and the things that we've done so far, that's what they remember the most. And several of my kids from last year, when we were just beginning protocols with bud burst, remember that. And that's the one thing that they wrote in their reflection that made the greatest impact, was going out to check those buds and take pictures every day. And that's basically our inspiration. Julie's taking attendance, so if you logged in as guest, make sure you tell her who you are. And are there any other questions? Oh, wow. Ours are finally dying good. We've had a really long fall, and suddenly winter has decided to set in with a vengeance. We had 70-degree days last week, and then today it was back into the 40s, and they're calling for possible snow over the next week or so. Wow. 80s would be nice. 70 in Upper West Virginia. I believe that. So it's a good thing we're studying climate because it sure is changing. Holy cow. Wendy has had some unexpected news and is unable to be here tonight. But if you would, please keep her in your thoughts. She would definitely appreciate it. And hopefully she'll be back with us very soon. Thank you for asking about her, and I will tell her that you asked. I'm certain that she would much rather be here tonight than where she is. In January?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to wrap this part up. Thank you so much, Deb and Linda. That was great. And my last little slide here. Let's see. Again, if you are logged in as guests, I know Joan is here as a guest. If anybody else is logged in as a guest, please let us know who you are so we can keep track of attendance. Oh, wrong one. Okay, so just to wrap up, our next webinar is in 2 weeks, January 30th at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, which ranges from 4:30 to 8:30, where all of you are. Our career speaker actually is here right now, Jessie Minter. She's a teacher in Bolivar, Texas. We'll hear more about her experience with Globe. She's saying hi there. And then our teacher presenters are Kim, Kelly, Rick, Steve, and Gary. And I will be contacting all of you about setting up a practice time before the webinar next time. And you're all welcome to stay here for a little while if you want to chat. Otherwise, thank you for coming. It was great seeing all of you tonight. And also I'm going to put one last plug in for the video competition. You guys should check it out, learn more about it.